Listen, breakups can be hard. The sudden loss of someone you've given so much to, that you've poured into, that you've possibly loved, to now have them leave, to see that relationship end, can be a tough pill to swallow. And it can be a difficult process to get through, getting over that relationship and getting over that person. But I want you to understand, though the breakup can be hard, it can also be a blessing. And you can get over this, you will get over this, and I'm going to lay out the steps on how to get over a breakup and find love again. Let's get right to it. Number one step in getting over that breakup is to recognize that this was necessary. Now listen, I know that can be a very tough concept to grasp, especially if you feel like that person was the one for you. But you have to understand that a breakup is a symptom of either something being wrong that needed to be fixed in the relationship, or a symptom of a relationship that was never meant to be to begin with. Two people who don't fit together. So let's just say it is a situation where something needs to be fixed. Well, sometimes people have to fall apart before they can come together. And though, yes, it's not impossible for people to achieve that while staying together, sometimes they need to break apart. Sometimes they need to step away from the relationship in order to see things clearly and be able to put things on the right path. All right. So that is possible, because I don't want to dismiss the fact that some breakups are between two people who will be best being together in the long run. But I also cannot ignore the fact that many people, and it may be you, have broken up with someone who should not have been there, who was longer or stayed longer than they ever should have, who should have been gone a long time ago. And the reality is that you may not have pulled the trigger if this current thing that happened, if whatever pushed this relationship over the edge did not occur. You needed it to happen. As I said, a lot of times a breakup is a blessing in disguise. And now it is your chance to set things right. It is your chance to get on the path to bigger and better things. And when you start to consciously remind yourself of the necessity of this breakup, it will help you in accepting the breakup. Again, even if you think you belong with them, understand that this needed to happen. And what we need to do now is take full advantage of this breakup. We need to now take the steps to ensure that whether you're supposed to be with them or not, you will be in a much better place. You will be much better equipped to have a loving, healthy, happy relationship. And I'm going to give you the extra steps to achieve that. But that's where I want your focus to be. I want you to say to yourself, okay, rather than dwelling in the pain, in the disappointment of losing this relationship, I want you to focus on the opportunity that is now in front of you to make things better than ever, to reach a whole new level in life, and to set yourself up for amazing success. So recognize and acknowledge the breakup was necessary. Step number 2 in how to get over a breakup and find love again is don't fight how you feel. So here's what I mean by that. A lot of people, after going through a breakup, again, no matter which side you're on, you think you belong there or you know they were never best for you. It can be difficult because you still care about them. You may still love them. You may miss them, all right? And these feelings make it difficult for you to deal with the breakup. And for those of you who don't belong with that person, it tricks you into thinking you should be with them. It tricks you into opening that door and letting them back in. Now, here's the thing. I don't want you to fight the fact that you care about them. I don't want you to fight the fact that you may love them, because the reality is that the more you fight it, the worse you make it. It's like being caught in a net, and the more you struggle with the net gets tighter and tighter, and you have a harder time getting out. So I see so many people become more consumed by their ex, more consumed by this breakup because they're trying to fight how they feel. No, flow with how you feel. Accept it for what it is. It is absolutely normal that you care about them. It's absolutely normal that you have moments you miss them. Even if they were a toxic, abusive person, there may have been good moments in the relationship that you start to think about that make you miss being in that relationship. Again, it's extremely normal. The key is, though, not to let those emotions and those moments fool you into jumping back into a relationship with them. And again, I have to keep adding, even if you think they're the one for you, you have to understand that this time, this breakup is for a purpose. And if you jump back in too soon, you're only gonna make things worse. So regardless, you cannot act on these feelings, you cannot act on these emotions, but you should not fight them. Let them be what they are. But learn how to shift your focus onto bigger and better things. Learn how to be more productive. Learn how to put your energy in some of the things we're going to mention coming up very soon. When you do that, rather than fighting how you feel, you lessen the chances of becoming consumed with it. You lessen the chances of becoming distracted by it or becoming miserable from it and driving yourself crazy, beating yourself up about it. Don't do that. I don't want you to do that. Just flow with how you feel, keep it moving, but shift your focus onto where it truly belongs. The next step in how to get over a breakup is focus on your healing. Now, here's one of the biggest mistakes people make is they never really take time to heal. Now, let me be very clear. Taking time to heal is not simply, I'm not going to date anyone for right now. I'm not going to jump back into another relationship, which is good. You don't need to be jumping into any other relationships. You don't need to go with this idea of get under someone to get over someone. That's horrible advice that only creates more problems. However, simply staying out of relationships does not give you healing, all right? Nor does simply thinking to yourself, I'm just going to take time away from things. Time itself does not heal. You have to put in work. You have to take certain steps. You have to focus on releasing that negative energy and emotions from your system. You have to embrace things like forgiveness. You got to learn how to change your mindset. But you also have to understand that healing isn't just about this breakup. Isn't just about this recent person or situation that hurt you. To now focus on healing means heal from everything you've been hurt from. Childhood, parents, old friends, old relationships, all of it. Because what you may not realize is the lack of healing from all those other things is what has brought you to this position right now. It's what may have led you into the wrong relationship. It's what may have sabotaged the right relationship. One way or another, you're here now, chances are, because you have a lot you need to heal from. And so you cannot just stay focused on this recent person. You got to look at the whole big picture because, again, what did I say? This is an opportunity to set you up for better. This is an opportunity to ensure you're going to have more successful, healthy relationships. So you need to heal. Now, I know the question becomes, well, how do we heal? I mean, everyone says heal, but how do we do it? Now, I'm going to be real with you. It's a lot to break down and explain. And I have a book. I forgot to bring it right now, but the book is called Love After Heartbreak. I put the link in the description. I put the link in the comment section. Click on it, get your copy. But I'm going to give you a first step to take, all right, to get the ball rolling. And it's called the Who Hurt Me exercise. And so what I want you to do is when you get an opportunity, get a piece of paper. On the piece of paper, write down who hurt me. And now ask yourself that question. Who hurt me? Now, every person who comes to mind, write them on the paper. It doesn't matter how long ago it happened. It doesn't matter if you think it's irrelevant. It doesn't matter if you think you've moved past it already. And let me just say, plenty of people move past things on the surface, but they never resolve things from within. So yes, you may be quote unquote over it. You may be quote unquote not dealing with it anymore, but you never flushed it out of your system, never got it off your spirit. So it's still residing within you and wreaking havoc. All right. So no matter if you think you move past it, if they come to mind when you ask yourself the question, who hurt me? They go down on the paper and you write a couple sentences of what they did to hurt you. This is how we're going to start to locate the pain you've been holding on to. Locate the things that you have not resolved in you. Again, some of you have functional relationships with your mothers and fathers, but you have unresolved hurt with your mothers and fathers. Some of you never truly got over 2 breakups ago, all right? And now you're dealing with this new one. There's so much that needs to be unpacked for so many people, but again, the focus has to be on taking the time now to do all of this work. So again, as I said, the Love After Heartbreak book will walk you through the entire process. Trust me, it's like having me as your coach, but in a book, much more affordable. It's easier for you. You can go at your own pace, but please, please, please do the exercises as they are laid out. So many people are being helped by it. Again, click the link in the description, click the link in the comment section, get your copy, Love After Heartbreak. So like I said, the focus has to be on healing, but not just healing from this recent person, healing from all of it, all right? And real quick, what's hitting my spirit is, some of you will say, well, I am healed. I'm good. Are you really? Are you really? You got to make sure you don't just try to convince yourself you're okay because you don't want to deal with this. I understand. And the reality is that the healing process is not a walk in the park. It isn't the most easiest thing to do, but it is extremely necessary. So please, please, if you know you're still struggling in areas of your life, if you know you're even still struggling with this specific breakup that we're talking about, take the time to explore all of you from within, flush all of that negative energy out, and fully heal. This is what's going to set you up for success. So number 4 on this list of how to get over a breakup and find love again, we talked about, acknowledging how you feel and not fighting it, acknowledging that this was a necessary breakup, focusing on your healing. But now you got to start to create your own happiness. All right. It becomes very easy to dwell in misery and sadness from the loss of the relationship, whether it was best or not. And we lose sight of what we need to be doing in our life. And we lose sight of the fact that we need to be creating happiness within us. Now, for some of you, you have put the responsibility of your happiness on your partner. And quite honestly, that may have been a contributing factor to why that relationship went the way that it did. You've got to get to a place where you recognize, I have to make myself happy. I have to generate that positive energy within me. So now let me start to identify and locate what makes me happy. So here's another quick exercise. I want you to, when you get a chance, get a piece of paper and write down 5 things. Hopefully you can get to 5. 5 things that put a smile on your face. 5 things that make you happy, okay? And now once you identify those 5 things, I want you to set forth a plan to implement these things in your life. I want you to see, of course, hopefully these 5 things are healthy things and nothing dysfunctional. I don't want to hear going out getting drunk as a happy thing to do, all right? That's not what we want here. That's going to cause more problems. But you want to find 5 good, healthy things you can do that create happiness. And now we want to start to implement them in our routine. It doesn't have to be daily. If it can be, great. But maybe it's weekly, maybe it's monthly. But what I have seen in so many people is there are things that make them happy. And then you ask them, when's the last time you did one of those things? And it's been months, years. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not actually being intentional about doing and engaging in the things that make them happy. People lose sight of that because of work, whether it be maybe kids, that relationship you're in or was in. These things can create distractions, and we lose sight of the fact that no, we still need to be creating that happiness within us. So if you want to get over this breakup and especially find love again, because that next stage of finding love, whether that finding love is reuniting with that ex, if it is an ex that, again, does belong in your life, because those situations do exist, or it's a new person, something bigger and better waiting for you, all right? Your ability to receive that and make it great starts with you creating happiness and positivity within you. So start to take those steps, do those things, and again, you're going to benefit greatly, not just from the potential relationship that will come, but from your overall quality of life and your overall mental, emotional, and spiritual health. Now, let's continue here. So we talked about creating your own happiness, but now the next step is focus on becoming your best you. Now, the great thing is healing and creating your own happiness is going to be the fuel that helps you achieve your best you, because now you'll be shedding all that negative energy. You'll be shedding all that heaviness that's been on you and on your spirit. And you'll also have the positive energy and the joy that you need to fuel yourself to achieve better in your life. But you want to start to recognize, okay, what are my flaws? What are my weaknesses? What are the things that I can make better? Especially if our desire is to have a relationship again. Because too many times people have the mantra of, I love me, I accept me as I am. Great. I want you to do that, but let's not ignore clear flaws that can do damage in relationships. Let's not have this mentality of, well, I'm just a blunt person who tells it like it is. No, you're rude. You're rude and have no tact. And you need to learn how to speak to people, because that's going to play a huge role in relationships, all right? If you say, well, I'm just not an affectionate person, that's just who I am. No, chances are you're not comfortable with it, because the level of vulnerability required in giving and receiving affection is something that you have become, again, uncomfortable with. Let's work on that. Let's not just accept our flaws. Let's correct the correctable ones. All right. Now, there's things about you that are just who you are. And so, perfect example is, if you're someone who loves nature and loves to be amongst the trees and the birds, that's nothing to change. That's just who you are. But as the things I mentioned, bad attitudes, things that can have a negative impact on relationships, these are the things we want to work on correcting. So let's work on becoming our best us. Let's work on achieving that higher potential. If we're not taking care of ourselves physically, let's do that. And let me tell you, that's so important when you're going through any kind of rough patch in your life. As I remember once going to a therapist, this was many, many years ago, because I do believe in going to therapy and going to coaches. And she had told me, when you are struggling, and I'm gonna shout her out. Shout out to Dr. Nikki Chung in Miami, Florida. All right, she was my therapist, wonderful woman. But yes, listen, she had said to me, when you're going through these struggles, this is the most important time to get sleep, drink your water, eat right, exercise. All these things help keep your mood in the right place, help you keep your energy in the right place, help you fight through the sadness and the hurt that comes over you from the breakup, from the loss, from whatever struggle you're dealing with. But again, it also will help you achieve your better you. It will give you the fuel you need to stay focused and productive and to do the things in your life you need to do. So take it seriously. Take your health very seriously, because your physical health is attached to your emotional and mental health. All right. It all goes hand in hand. You can't blatantly neglect one and think it won't pour over into the other. Do what you need to do in all areas to live an optimal life. And this is going to help you immensely in getting over a breakup. Now, the next thing you can say, number 6 on this list, is stay focused on positivity. Now, we kind of talked about it already. Being more positive, creating happiness. Again, it becomes very easy to dwell in the negative. It's very easy to become pessimistic. It's very easy to be ungrateful, to forget how blessed we really are as individuals, and all the things that we do have in our life. You want to make a conscious effort to live in a grateful mindset. You want to make a conscious effort to stay in a positive mindset and start to recognize what are the negative influences in your life. So pay attention to the music you're listening to, the TV you're watching, the sites you're going to, the social media pages you're frequenting. All right. Some of these comment sections are pure poison. All right. Nothing but toxic energy. Some of the things I've seen even on YouTube, toxic energy. Stay away from those things, because that's not going to help you, especially right now with trying to get over a breakup, with trying to find love again. You don't need that negative energy. So start to recognize those things and remove them, or at the very least, limit them. Create a balance where it doesn't affect you so bad. Like you have enough positivity to cancel out the negative you may consume from time to time. But if you can eliminate it all, eliminate it all. If you have negative friends and family, that needs to be addressed. Now, I don't want to get too deep into that right now, but I will say this. Some of those negative friends and family are people who would have made your who hurt me list. And that issue needs to be addressed, because it's in addressing it that you either may be able to finally resolve it and actually have a healthy relationship with them, Or you may see even more clearly you need to remove that person. All right? So either way, recognize the negativity, remove the negativity, stay focused on staying in a positive mindset, and stay productive. All right? Be productive in your life. And being productive also means getting rest. Sometimes we have a hard time, and I'm guilty as charged, where we think just chilling and relaxing is not being productive. No, it is if it's going to help us have more energy for the next day. It is if it's going to recharge us so we can be more effective throughout the week. So don't neglect the need to relax and recharge in order for you to be more positive, productive, and all these things that will help you with getting over that breakup and help you with finding love again. And then the last thing I'm going to mention in getting over a breakup and finding love again is lean on God and let God guide you. Now, of course, if you're not a believer, this won't apply, but I believe the vast majority of you who watch my videos are. And so I'm a firm believer in we got to keep God first in our life. And when we're going through these tough times, these breakups, we got to lean on God. Now, sometimes the reality is some of you may be mad about God. You may feel like, well, why did God let me go through this breakup? Why did you let this happen? Why did you set me up for this misery? And sometimes God may need to be on your who hurt me list, because even though I'm not saying God has ever intentionally hurt you, sometimes we're perceiving it as he let us down, as he hurt us, as he was not there for us in our time of need. And we have to reconcile and resolve that. We have to remove that tension, because that can be blockage from being able to embrace him in our lives. That can be blockage from us being able to be obedient to what we feel now we're hearing from him in our spirit, or we're going to struggle to even connect with him spiritually because we have resentment, we have animosity. And listen, it happens. It happens. You know, some people may not want to be honest about that, but it does. All right. So recognize if you have any tension or whatever you want to call it with God, you know, that has to be addressed as well. Don't fake it. Don't act like it doesn't exist because you feel like we're not supposed to be mad at God. We're human and it happens. All right. But then after you resolve that, get back to leaning and trusting God. Know that he wants the best for you. Know that sometimes, a lot of times, most of the times, even the things that look horrible are for our good. But we have to understand how to navigate through it. And this is where God and his guidance comes in play. We have to go to him to find out, okay, well, how do you want us to handle this? What do you want us to focus on? So here I am saying, you know, healing and being positive and being productive, which is all things you need to do. But then let's ask God, okay, what do you want me to do next? Because maybe, again, that breakup was to set you free, to get you in proper alignment with where he wanted you to be. Maybe this breakup was to set you free because you finally need to start that business that you have put on hold. Write that book that you have put on hold. Make that move to another city that you put on hold. There are things that you felt in your spirit God's been telling you to do, but you've been so consumed by this relationship that you haven't been doing it. And also maybe, just maybe, that God had you go through this breakup because you were putting your partner above God. The reality is, and it happens to a lot of us, we get so locked into these relationships, so consumed by this individual that we don't even realize we've essentially put them on a higher pedestal than God. We are more affected by their opinion than by God. We are more worried about them than we are with our relationship with God. And again, that's not to judge because it happens to so many of us. But I can tell you this, God wants you to fix that. He wants you to always remember, no matter who you get with, whether it's reconciling with an ex or something brand new and better, he wants you to remember that he has to stay first. And I feel the need to say this. And this might be a really tough pill to swallow, but it's hitting my spirit. Listen, and you can, I forgot which part in the Bible it says this, but basically, God wants you to be able to walk away from anything and anybody if he tells you to. Again, I know that's tough to grasp, but the reality is that if it becomes between God or this relationship, you've got to always be able to choose God. And again, we lose sight of this, but I truly believe that once you can get a good grasp and understanding of that, and you continue to embrace that, you're going to see things work out better for you in your relationships, better in your life. You will not be led astray by the wrong things and the wrong people, because many have been led down the wrong path, led to their demise because they put more faith in the person than in God. They let the person's influence have a heavier weight on their decisions than God. That's not supposed to happen. So understand, we got to put things in proper order. And again, sometimes that's why we needed the breakup, to set the record straight. Hey, thank you for watching this video. Be sure to check this one out right here, and I'll see you there. Understand that it is very important for us to have a good level of self-worth. When we have a low self-worth, we will find ourselves in more toxic situations, entertaining people